The Kurukshetra war begins. Shri Krishna returned to Upallavya and reported the events of Hastinapur to Yudhishthir. There was no alternative left for the Pandavas but to go for war. Yudhishthir appointed Drishtadyumna as the supreme commander of the Pandav armed forces. Duryodhan requested the grandfather Bhishma to become the commander-in-chief of the vast Kaurava army. At this time, Maharshi Vedvyas arrived at Hastinapur to visit Dhritarashtra. The blind king was eager to know how the war progressed. Upon his request, Maharshi Vedvyas bestowed divine vision to Sanjay, whereby he could actually see the events of the battlefield sitting in Hastinapur and narrate them to his king. When Dhritarashtra asked the illustrious Rishi which side would win the war, Bhagwan Vyas replied, "Where there is dharma, there shall be victory." On the ancient plains of Kurukshetra, the Pandavas and the Kauravas had assembled for a trial of strength. The Pandava army totaled 7 army divisions, while the Kauravas had 11 army divisions. Acting according to Shri Krishna's guidance, Arjun first worshipped goddess Durga and the Devas, prostrated the divine chariot adorned with the emblem of Lord Hanuman, and ascended it after Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna drove the chariot and placed it between the two armies. Arjun surveyed the Kaurav army. He saw his grandfather Bhishma, his Guru Drona, his maternal uncle Shalya, his first teacher Kripa, his Guru's son and childhood classmate Ashwathama. Upon seeing his family members and kinsmen arrayed against him, Arjun's senses began going numb. He was overwhelmed by grief at the thought that he would now have to slay his own kith and kin. He would thus be responsible for the downfall of his family and race. Killing my own brothers just for the sake of a mere kingdom, he voiced his state of mind to Shri Krishna, refusing to fight. He placed the Gandiva aside and sat remorsefully in the rear of his chariot. Bhagwan Shri Krishna, seeing his devotee and confidant in mental agony and stress, came forth with his words of supreme wisdom. Shri Krishna solaced to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, dispelling his mental illusions and inspiring him to perform his karma in a spirit of selfless attachment is the divine Srimad Bhagavad Gita we all know and worship today. The greatest ever philosophy that mankind has known. The Gita, thousands of years after Shri Krishna first narrated it to Arjun, continues to inspire, illuminate and guide humanity even today. Shri Krishna said, "Your impression that you are going to be the cause of death of your loved ones like Bhishma and others is totally wrong, Arjun. The soul is neither born nor does it perish. It cannot kill anyone nor be killed by anyone. The elements cannot touch it and it is detached from the body's travails. As one discards old clothes and dons new ones, so too the soul discards a body worn out by age and enters a new one. What is born has to die, and what dies will be reborn again. Why then grieve for the physical body? Our dharma is to perform our duty. Your grieving will not avert this war. If you do not perform your duty of fighting this dharma yuddha, you shall certainly be guilty of sin, besides earning undying disgrace. Any self-respecting individual would prefer death to disgrace. O Kaunteya, the world looks upon you as an invincible and fearless warrior. If you run away from this conflict, you shall be the laughing stock of your enemies. You will be condemned by history as a weak-minded coward. Dharma and justice stand by you in this conflict. Do not worry about the consequences, because you will not be responsible for them. Cease worrying about victory or defeat, benefit or loss, joy or sorrow, and stand up to perform your duty. No sin shall attach to you. If you are slain, you shall attain heaven, and if you are victorious, you shall enjoy the fruits of victory. Cast aside all doubts of the mind, Dhananjay. The Lord then showed Arjun his awesome cosmic form. Arjun was overcome with wonder and devotion. All of Arjun's doubts and weaknesses of the mind were dispelled. He prostrated to the Lord and said, O Achyut, blessed by you, my doubts have been quelled. Fully aware of where my duties lie, Keshava, I shall carry out your bidding. Pleased with his devotee, Sri Krishna blew his conch, the Panchajanya. The sound of Arjun's conch, the Devadatta, mingled with it and shook the battlefield. However, before the hostilities could break out, everyone was surprised to see Yudhishthir remove his armor, discard his weapons and walk on foot towards the Kaurava army with folded hands. The Pandava brothers accompanied Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir walked to Bhishma's chariot, touched the grandfather's feet and received his blessings. Bhishma was very touched. He told Yudhishthir to ask for any boon. Grandfather, you are unconquerable. How do we defeat you in war? So long as I hold weapons in my hands, no one, not even the celestials, can defeat me. But meet me later, I shall tell you. Yudhishthir then touched Dronacharya's feet and asked him the same question. The Guru was pleased. It is not possible to vanquish me so long as I hold weapons in my hand. But if any reliable person brings me bad news on the battlefield, then I may discard my weapons. I can then be slain. Before returning, Yudhishthir stood between both armies and announced, Dharma and truth are on our side in this war. Those who wish to be on the side of Dharma and justice are welcome to join us. Hearing this, Dhritarashtra, son by another woman, Yuyutsu, joined the Pandavas. Warriors on both sides blew their conches. Trumpets and bugles blared and war drums thundered, their noise shaking the skies. The great Kurukshetra war had begun.